So this is T's Kitchen Chronicles. This is me, my kitchen, as you can see, sipping on something and just, dropping some of my wisdom on all of you who are out there. Hopefully that I can at least touch somebody and some of my wisdom. One of my biggest philosophies is that wisdom is worthless unless passed on, and it's the same wisdom I pass on to my siblings, the same wisdom I pass on to my children, and the same wisdom I pass on to some of my good friends. So just wanted to sort of drop that on you. So first things first is introduce who I am. I know there are other people out there, including my family members, that do this. I'm not trying to step on anybody's shoes or anything like that. I am just a guy. I'm just an old man, just trying to do something that nobody that I knew did this for me as I grew up, and hopefully I can touch somebody. So who I am. Everybody knows me as T. Formerly known as Big Boy T. I'm a man now, so the boy has gone out. So Big T, as many people know me. I'm a big guy with a big personality, and a lot to get off my chest, in a sense. So and every weekend, I know that I speak to some of my confidants, some of my friends, partner, and so forth, and we just drop knowledge on everybody. So and that's one part of who I am. Second part is I'm a father, a devoted partner, and someone who's trying to be, a difference compared to what it is. So my background is I am African. I'm African. I was born and raised in Zimbabwe, still a Zimbabwean national, living in the UK. I left, and one of the lucky ones who was able to leave a second world life in a third world country and come live a first world life in a first world country, as in the United Kingdom, in England, and live sort of a semi-rural life and sort of see sort of different worlds as I've grown. So, I've seen everything from the third world to first world, and sort of just want to just impart some love and some wisdom and some guidance to many people, because in all of the conversations I've had with enough people, and a lot of people, is that we have differences in opinion. And one thing that we don't find ourselves is, especially in my community, the Zimbabwe community, is that cohesion that other communities have, that we can blend with each other. Now, you look at me now, I'm rough. This is 8 weeks into UK coronavirus quarantine. I am coming to you raw in my kitchen, hair not looking nice, whatever, but hopefully over the weeks that come by, as the lockdown goes down, or gets the restrictions go off, you can find me and some of my partners sitting here, or sitting in some kitchen, and we'll bring you the Kitchen Chronicles. But one subject I really want to touch on, this on the first one, is one subject that's really dear to me. That's one that I've been discussing with a couple of people over the past week, and that's the discussion of love. It's weird. One of the weirdest things is I'm going to listen back to myself, and the way I feel that I talk is different to how I hear myself. So I know that I sound like some, diaspora type of guy, whatever, but forget that. I am Zimbabwean born and bred. I came to the UK at 17, almost 18, literally weeks before my 18th birthday. I'm 33 years old now. I've lived from being a grown-up teenager to being a young man, to being a married man, to being a parent, to being a father, to being a husband, and here I am now. So I've seen a lot, and I've seen people around me do a lot of other stuff, and we've discussed all of those things, and that's what I'm bringing for you to you on this podcast, on this, just hopefully I can create a platform that other people can talk and be I know you can hear the music in the background. That's sort of my era music, but it's sort of, who I am and what I do. So, love is the past. I don't know, for 15 years, I've seen a different side to love. So when I put it in the context of as an African, someone who was born and raised, the concept of what love is, and I was having a conversation with someone. Well, you know what love is. You know someone loves you. You know that your parents love you. You know that there's that love. But one thing that you don't hear growing up, I didn't hear growing up, was the word "I love you," and it's hard to imagine that right now when I look at my kids. It's that as I grew up, I didn't hear that word "I love you." It was not part of the vocabulary that I had. I love you. You don't. In a sense, as a child, you know it. You know that they love you, but you don't realize that in hindsight later on in life. Probably when you're maturing, when you got your own kids, you go, they love me, man. These people did this, but the experiences that I have, and many Africans have, especially living in first world countries, those who have migrated from Africa to Europe, to certain parts of Europe, to loads of parts of Europe, to the UK, to America, to Canada, is that, there's a generation that was sort of born in the 80s, 90s, that then came here. And the generation that was born pre-independence, and that generation pre-independence didn't know that. They only knew hardship and suffering. So what they knew and what they did was they only reflected what they know and what they do to us, in a sense, And I remember my parents. I love them. I love my mom. I do love my dad. We don't see eye to eye. We're typical. The people who know me, they think, "Oh no, you're different," but it's not. It's just so many stories that I say. But some of the youth, some of the younger kids to me now, who are sort of 10 years, 15 years my junior, we have the opportunity right now to feel the difference. Are not feeling the difference because their parents are coming from those who didn't give them that life and have not woke enough to see it. The power of saying "I love you," even Rio Ferdinand said it in his story about him losing his wife, the mother to his children, is that he grew up without that term "I love you," and in hindsight, later on in life, he said to himself, "Yeah, I know they love me because of the things they showed me, but at the time I didn't know it because at the time it wasn't told to me." What's really powerful is when I see other children and other people around me that got that love and affection, understand the relationship between themselves and their parents. And what they know is that they're loved. And that doesn't mean that they can let go of whatever they do or they can do whatever they want. It's just that they know because it's been told to them. It's not that something that they have to develop. They need to look at in hindsight and go, "Oh, what they were doing was in love." It's that they know that everything that's happening or every punishment they get or every reward that they get is with love. Something that the Bible tells us a lot of the time, but it's something that we just don't tell our kids. And I look at a lot, not a lot, but a few of my African brothers and sisters who don't have that vocabulary in them, and it's weird for them. I have family and friends in Zimbabwe, and when they hear me and my family say that word, say that phrase, "I love you," to them it's difficult for them to reply back in genuinity, and that's what I want to talk about. I look at some of the young youth today. Some of them, when I'm talking about African Caribbean youth, they blow up. It's just like Blue Story. They blow up out of proportion because they don't understand the word love. And when you understand the word love from a young child, for those who have seen it, they understand what love and lust, the difference between love and lust. For some of us young men who would then come into this country, who would then grow up into becoming young men, when the first time we see lust, we think we see love. And we get blinded by it. And we end up doing dumb things, making stupid mistakes. And that's the stupidity about it. It's that because we don't understand it, we don't know it, we end up falling in lust when we think we're falling in love. Then we make stupid mistakes. Then we blame those mistakes on love. The love that has been not just love as in from meeting somebody that you care about, but the love for parents, the love for your family, the love for your friend, the love for, and we associate that with the anger from heartbreak, and then we do stupid things. Really, the first part of my podcast is to say, we need to tell each other we love each other. I know it's hard, it's difficult. There's some genres or areas or people or ethnicities that will say, well, what are you talking about? But the reality is, what I'm talking about is truth. When is the last time you told your mom I love her? When is the true time and the last time you told your child I love them? Or you love them? Or say, I love you. You need to ask yourself those questions. If it's not on a daily basis, you need to be telling it. You need to be asking yourself, where's that going? I know it's not feasible to be saying it on a daily basis. We work, we've got commitments, we've got people, we've got children, got work. But I'm saying that, do they know it from us telling them? Or do we tell ourselves that they know it because we do so much, because we spend so much money, or because we go work 12-hour shifts just for them to have the latest sneakers? That doesn't say love. Money doesn't say love. It's been well documented. I was speaking to a young man the other day, one that I thought would never understand how I look at the world. Funny enough that my wisdom was passed on. There was a young man who said to me, I didn't have my dad here, but I had my older brother here, my older cousin here. But my older brother never came to me and said, yo, bro, I'm taking you under my wing. I'm going to give you advice. I'm going to show you the love and respect that you need. And for years, I resented him. And this is me paraphrasing. And I said to him, listen, you also have to understand that the person also had the dynamic that no one else showed him that. So is that person's fault that no one actually came up and said to him, to the wisdom that, listen, you didn't have that. Why do you need to pass that on? You need to change. You need to break that chain so that the next generation can be better. I'm not saying this is the true testament to it, but we've got some confused young bloods in Africa, in the UK, in the world, who don't believe in themselves, who don't believe that love exists, and all they see is the lust that is around them, the heartbreak that is then developed from it, because what they know is lust is what they see on TV. What they see love on TV is lust. What do we see? Love on TV is Romeo and Juliet. Two young kids, teenagers, who look at each other and go, yo, you're attractive, I'm attractive, I think you're attractive, you think I'm attractive, we'll do whatever we have to get to that point. We hear Adam and Eve when we're told not to have lust as as the fruit. Don't fall into lust because it's a horrible thing. And the snake and the devil said to them, fall into lust. And then they found themselves being punished for the lust, which we believe is love. So, life is life and love are one and the same, in my personal opinion. And everything I say on this podcast, on this video, on this cast, on this podcast, it's all my personal opinion, and probably other personal opinions from other people. But I'll always quote them as best as I can and paraphrase them. But I've got 4 children. I've got 4 kids, beautiful children. And this is, most people who don't know me or who know of me, or acquaintances and so forth, who don't know about this. But my friends know, and my people around me know. And juggling that life and being me or who I am, and being a parent, and juggling the love that you have to spread upon them, not the love, but the showing of love is difficult. And it's only that Um, I was shown at a late age that I realized that love is different. Is a difficult scenario. You know, um, let alone that someone said to me, someone asked me, someone that, an acquaintance. This is how I know. Um, asked me, after knowing this guy for over a year and a half, asked me, so, oh, you got kids? I said, yeah. You don't need to know my personal life. So how many kids you got? I got 4. I said, whoa. What? The same baby mom? The shock of someone saying from the same baby mom. And I was like, whoa. Is it in when you look at a black man and anywhere in any first world or third world country, he's got to have multiple baby mamas, and this is the expectation of us because we don't know love, and that's the truth. And I'm privileged enough to have been shown what it is, and for me, in a sense, and my perception of it. And if I can't give it to somebody else, then what is worth my wisdom worth? Nothing. So I'm hoping that someone over the time of the course of all of this, and when the rest of my crew comes in, and we can enjoy each other and we can join each other and have this conversation and debate, we can actually expand more on this. But that was a powerful thing to me at that time. Because for me, it was the norm. For me, it was what it is. And maybe because I've probably been enlightened or not, but it's different. The expectation was, as a guy who goes out clubbing all the time, as a guy who's infamous, if you want to call it, in a small community, I should have more baby mamas. But I'm a big guy with a bit of confidence because my people around me give me the confidence. But the love that I have from my family, the love that I have from my extended family gives me more confidence than ever. Because I know where my love comes from. And I think we need to extend that to the youth, to the children, to the youngest. Because the conversation I was having with the other person I was talking about in regards to the youth of what we have. Because it wasn't that long ago that where I'm from, Ashford, Kent, we had the first sort of gang stabbing. And Yomla was like, listen, we need to do something as the older. And the truth is, we need to show them love. Show them the understanding that, we are here for you emotionally, not just physically, not just to be just there. You can just go, you're protected. Nah. It means emotion. When you got some shit happening to you, you can talk to anybody and feel something. You got something wrong with you can feel something. You can tell us why you feel, because that's showing love. The same love you show your child when you were scolding them is the same love you need to be showing the guy next door. Because as I grew up, if you did something wrong, when I was back in Zim, my boy Shan City said to me, if you did something wrong, Mrs. Whatever would whoop your ass and then go tell your parents that you was doing this and I whooped you that. Then you get another ass whooping. Today we look at it and just go, oh yeah, we'll just leave that alone. That's not love. Oh yeah, we saw them do that, but we won't say anything. But what we'll do is we'll mock your parents. Say, oh, your child is horrible. Your child is this. Your child does this. Your child does that. Or look at mine, the scholar. They're perfect. Nah. We're trying to one-up each other instead of showing love and giving love. We're talking about UNICEF, but we don't even listen to ourselves, listen to our own children. So, my plea today, and so the whole point of my podcast is to show love. Be loved and show love. Love is a difficult thing. I know that if you've never been received it in the way that you're supposed to sort of receive it, in my view, it's difficult for you to show it, to pass it on. But for those who are woke enough and those who've grown up and they've gone and seen the hindsight, well, you know what? Actually, the tough love that we got, those situations were actually love. We need to be able to pass that on to those who haven't seen it yet. Because the quicker we wise up, the stronger we are, the wiser we are, and the quicker those lessons are learned. I know it's difficult. And I know it's hard for us to come together and say, you know, I'm going to pass on some wisdom. But I'm here in my kitchen right now, just letting people know that we are one. And we can show love to each other the same way. It's, you know, love cannot just be a conversation you have at church. You know, love ain't going to be a conversation that you just hear from your pastor as he talks about it in the sermon. Love needs to be something that we need to be showing every day. And again, I'll put this back into you again, to everybody. The wisdom that you have is worthless unless you pass it on. Then it becomes a worthwhile investment. Your trials and tribulations, as long as those do not happen to the next person, because you were able to pass on that wisdom and pass on that love, you've done something great. And you've saved someone, and you've saved someone from the same mistakes or same tribulation in the right term. But you've also gained new experiences, new wisdom, because with that next person has transcended the tribulations you've gone through. But one very important thing is they felt love. They felt needed. So I'll leave you with this one. From the Kitchen Chronicles. It's your boy Big T, aka Just T. Sipping on some. See you next time. Peace out.